couple nights ago, I was up here looking for a phone case, and what I found was something way more valuable than I could have even imagined. And right here is what it is. Something that said November 27th, 2013. Folded up piece of paper from my younger self to me. And it doesn't say that it's to my future self, but the way that I came across it, it's almost as if I was meant to find it exactly when I did. And now I'm going to read it for you. And also another little piece that I found next to it. And then I'm going to get into kind of what this idea means to me and how it can help you on your journey and realize that your younger self, your future self, your past self, aka younger self, higher self, is always communicating with you. Here we go. He's going insane. He just can't take the pain that's being thrown at him. They say he's too slim. He's trying to put on some weight, but he just can't escape the hate. He knows he'll be great, but they don't see that yet. They'll just have to wait. He can see his name in the Hall of Fame. So ashamed, his thoughts fly through his brain. Falling behind in school, they say he thinks he's too cool. But really, all he wants is some respect. Then maybe he could meet their expectations. He can't control his thoughts. It feels like he's lost. He feels like crying. He's slowly dying. He just wants to run. To run away from all the hatred and go back to the days when life was good. Oh, how he wishes he could. He's misunderstood. He's never good enough. Life is rough. He's being tough. They don't know how he feels. Every day they deal so much damage. His parents doubt him, all because he can't figure out some algorithm. And before I give my thoughts on that one, I'm going to read the next one. In my short time on this earth, I've learned a lot. I've learned about friends, making decisions, and life in general. And the most important thing that I've learned about life is that you sure as heck better not waste it. And with the things that have happened in my life recently, that's something I definitely won't forget. A friend of mine made a bad decision that could have ruined his life, and ever since then, I've thought about how I'm living mine. I decided that I would stop wasting my time here, because you never know when it's time for you to go. What would make the world a better place? If we all lived in the moment, lived for today, lived like there's no tomorrow, and lived like we were dying. Go apply for that job. Try out for that team. Don't be scared to face your fears, because in the long run, nobody remembers the nights that they didn't take any risks or the times where they sat home and played it safe. What people remember is the joy they felt, the gifts they gave, and the good times they had here. So live life to the fullest. Nothing can stop you. And I'm honestly tearing up a little bit just reading that again, because I just know where my 13-year-old self was. And it's honestly surprising to me that I was able to write like that at 13. But again, I already knew that I was different. And as you could hear from some of those things I said, I always felt very misunderstood and like I couldn't really show people what my vision was. I couldn't show people what I had. I knew I was here to do something, but with the structure and place of school, there was really no outlet for me to express how I really felt. And I didn't know what I would be doing to help people. My dream was to make videos. And reading that back, I realized I'm living my dream right now. I'm living my childhood dream, and I'm so grateful for that. This is all I ever wanted to do, and I'm doing it. Now, the first thing that I wrote was pretty depressing in a way, but I know that was because my 13-year-old self could not express to other people his vision. He was an old soul trapped in a tiny little kid's body, and everybody else seemed to have authority over him. And as I said, all I wanted was some respect. All I wanted was for people to see me for the knowledge that I actually had. I didn't have any respect for my teachers. I didn't have any respect for my peers on that level because everyone just saw me as this earthly person. But I've been here many times. I've done many things. And I have a lot of things to offer. My parents, society, they weren't trying to inflict any damage on me. They weren't trying to make me feel bad. They were always supportive of me. It was just that they wanted me to fall in line. They wanted me to be more obedient, to do what I'm told. And I never did that because I'd be sitting in school thinking, what is the point of this? I already know that I have so much that I can give through videos, and I would make videos and express myself and tell people, one day I'm going to be something much bigger than this. But there was no proof of it, right? There was no proof. There was no way to prove that to anybody at the age of 13. And now I realize that I'm living out my childhood dream. So to my younger self, you're doing it, buddy. You're going to keep doing it. And you always knew that you were going to do it, even if they didn't believe you. And I hope you're doing all right now. So now let's take those messages that my younger self sent me, and let's kind of analyze what this really is. What is really going on here? So, linear time, the time that we are experiencing, where there's a past, there's a present, and there's a future, that's linear time. But everything happens at once in quantum terms, okay? So everything is happening right now. So my future self knows that I am doing this right now because my future self can look back on this memory of me reading those things and connect with me and guide me. And I can connect back on the memories of my childhood by just thinking about it. And I'm connecting to my 13-year-old self because he still exists right now. You're always being guided by future and past versions of yourself or your higher self. This is what's going on. When you have visions of the future, when you can see yourself doing something, that's because you're already doing it. You just have to align to that frequency. Before I started this channel, I used to see myself making videos, helping people, long before I ever did it. And I knew that it had already happened. I knew that my success was inevitable because the future me has already made it. The future me is already there. The future me is already where I want to be. And that future self is always coming back and guiding me. And even my past self can guide me through my own writing. And when I was 13, did I consciously think, I'm writing this so that when I'm 20, I can read this and it will inspire me and make me realize, why I started this? No, I didn't. But it was happening for a much more divine reason. It was placed there for my future self without me even knowing. And you're also doing this. You may see visions of yourself doing things in the future. It's already happening right now. Not in terms of linear time, where there's a past, present, future, but it is happening right now. You always have access to your memories, right? You can think about any period of time in your life right now. You're living in a memory right now as well, because your future self can think back to this present moment and connect with you. We are living in a memory. We've already made it to where we're going. You just got to take the signs as they come. My younger 13-year-old self already knew, way before anyone else knew, that I would be doing this. Right? Even if I didn't consciously know it. It was because my future had already happened that I knew I was destined for something. And my external reality did not line up with that at all. It always told me that I would be, basically working in an electrical and security company. How would I impact the world? I always thought, how can I change the world? I know I'm going to change the world. Many of you may have had these thoughts your whole life too. How are you going to change the world? By changing yourself first and helping other people. But at the same time, you just have that kind of knowing that you're going to do something. And that is because you've already done it. You've already done it. And even though in linear time, you may not have done it, in terms of quantum physics, it's all happening right now. And you've already made it. So that's why I don't have to worry anymore. That's why you shouldn't worry, because you've already made it to exactly where you're supposed to be. All you've got to do is take those signs, take that gut feeling, take that intuition and use it. There's a reason you have these feelings. Follow them. This is your higher self. This is your future self. This is your past self. These are other people, other guides guiding you. All of it is just leading you to where you've already made it to. And I know it's kind of a mind trip to think about all this, but it really, really is helpful, because if you know that you've already made it exactly where you want to go, then all you have to do is just be. And I'm not saying don't go after things. There's a place for that. But to worry and think, oh, maybe this is happening, there's no way there could be a better reason that this is happening. Well, you've already made it to where you want to go. These things are just leading you there. The parallels between the thing that I wrote and my life now are so, it's such a similar situation that I'm still in. And that's what's crazy. It's like I was meant to read it, right? Like they say he's too slim. He's trying to put on some weight, but he just can't escape the hate. I'm still super skinny, and I've been putting on weight now, finally doing what I always wanted to do. I'm just falling behind in school, still in community college, and I hate school. All he wants is some respect. I would have, so many issues with people not understanding my spiritual awakening, not understanding me. That's something that I'm still working on. He can't control his thoughts. He feels like he's lost. The dark night of the soul. Can't control my thoughts. For a while, I couldn't control my thoughts. You still can't control them, but you can observe them. And now I understand that my thoughts are not me. He feels like crying. He's slowly dying. He just wants to run away from all the hatred and go back to the days when life was good. And it's funny because as myself now, I would think back to my 13-year-old days and think, I wish I could go back then when life was good. Isn't it funny how we always want something other than this present moment? He's misunderstood. He's never good enough. And life is rough. He's being tough. They don't know how he feels. Every day they deal so much damage. His parents doubt him, all because he can't figure out some algorithm. The YouTube algorithm. But my parents don't really doubt me anymore. I think they see why I was so different. They see why I was so weird at this time in my life. And I see now that I'm, in a way, connecting to my younger self and letting him know that everything's going to be okay. Because you've already made it. You're already making videos. You're already living out your dreams. And you don't even know how much you're going to change this world. You don't even know. I love you. Hope you're doing well. Peace.